Welcome back to my channel, Pocket Change Coins. If you're excited about finding hidden gems in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we're going to uncover some of the most valuable and rare U.S. coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're talking about the Montana State Quarter, minted in 2007 with the Philadelphia Mint mark, a small P on the front. Now, if you're already thinking, I've seen that quarter 100 times, you might want to take a closer look, because this coin is far more fascinating than it appears on the surface. Let's rewind the clock a bit.in 2007, as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, Montana was honored with its very own coin design. This was a proud moment for the Treasure State, a nickname that reflects its rich history of gold, silver, and natural beauty. And true to that spirit, the Montana Quarter doesn't disappoint. On the reverse side, you'll find one of the boldest designs in the entire series, a large, floating bison skull set against a sweeping backdrop of mountains and the words, "Big Sky Country." It's a dramatic and haunting image, and one that captures the wide-open wilderness and deep heritage of the state. It also reflects the story of the American West, both its natural power and the echo of civilizations past. The bison skull isn't just decorative, it's a symbol of Montana's Native American culture, once home to great tribes who lived in harmony with the land. The design stands out immediately among the 50 state quarters. It's powerful, minimal, and unforgettable, but here's the twist: millions of these quarters were made, but a tiny fraction of them are unlike the rest. Some carry unusual errors from the minting process, others are in near-perfect condition, preserved from the moment they left the mint. And in the world of coin collecting, it's these rare combinations, minting flaws, unexpected details, and pristine surfaces, that transform a simple 25-cent piece into a collector's dream. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Mint version. That small P on the front of the coin, just above the date, shows that it was struck in Philadelphia. While these coins were made by the millions, a very small number of them have been found with rare minting errors, such as die cracks, off-center strikes, double dies, or even coins struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. These aren't the kinds of things you can spot at a glance. Sometimes, it takes a magnifying glass, a good eye, and a bit of patience. But when collectors find one of these rare Montana P quarters with such an error, the value can jump dramatically. And that's not even including the coins that are graded as Mint State, or MS, by professional services, meaning they have never been circulated and are nearly flawless. Imagine finding a coin in your change jar that looks like every other quarter, but under a collector's light, it becomes a prized possession. That's the magic of coins like this one. And it's not just about error coins. The story behind the Montana Quarter gives it added appeal. Released during a time when Americans were rediscovering their love for state pride and local heritage, the 50 State Quarters program wasn't just a government initiative, it became a cultural phenomenon. Kids collected them, parents passed them down, and people across the country started looking at their change in a whole new way. Today, collectors still search for the perfect versions of these coins, hoping to find one that stands out from the rest. Whether it's because of an extremely rare double strike, a missing layer, or a completely off-center design, some Montana quarters are now viewed as collector's gold. And here's the part that really matters, because while most of these coins are worth only their face value, a select few are not. In fact, one extremely rare Montana quarter, minted in Philadelphia in 2007, featuring a rare mint error and certified in mint state condition, was once valued at an astonishing $55,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. Just 25 cents in your pocket could turn out to be worth $55,000. So next time you're sorting through your spare change, don't ignore those state quarters. Flip them over, check the date, find the mint mark, and take a closer look. Because one of them, maybe even a Montana quarter you already own, could change your life. Second rare coin, we're talking about the 2000 New Hampshire State Quarter, proudly bearing the Philadelphia Mint mark, the small but mighty P. Now, before you think, it's just another state quarter, stick around. Because this coin, representing the Granite State, has a history as bold and rugged as the landscape it celebrates, and for a lucky few, it's brought far more than 25 cents worth of value. Let's start with what makes this quarter stand out in the first place, the New Hampshire State Quarter was released in the year 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's revolutionary 50 State Quarters program. The series captured the hearts of Americans everywhere. Each coin represented a different piece of the nation's diverse heritage, and New Hampshire's design was no exception. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see one of nature's most recognizable profiles, the famous Old Man of the Mountain. It's a massive granite formation that once jutted out from a cliffside in New Hampshire's White Mountains, resembling the stern face of a wise old man gazing into the distance. Beneath this iconic image, the words, "Old Man of the Mountain," are etched, alongside the state's bold motto, "Live free or die." Powerful words. And they speak volumes about New Hampshire's spirit, independent, strong, and proud of its identity. Even more poignant is the fact that just a few years after the coin's release, the actual rock formation collapsed in 2003, making this coin one of the last official tributes to the natural wonder that had stood for centuries. That alone gives this coin emotional weight and historical importance, but what turns this coin from a tribute into a treasure? It's all about the details, and in the world of coin collecting, details matter. Most of these quarters were struck for everyday use. They passed through cash registers, fell into couch cushions, and disappeared into pockets across the country. But among the millions of coins minted, a very small number were struck with noticeable minting errors or came out in absolutely pristine, uncirculated condition. That's where things start to get exciting. Some of the rarest and most valuable versions of the 2000 New Hampshire P quarter include errors like double dies, where parts of the design appear slightly repeated or shadowed, or off-center strikes, where the image is not properly aligned on the coin. Other errors might include missing clad layers, creating an unusual color or texture, or even die cracks that appear as thin, raised lines across the surface. These are the tiny mistakes that transform a common coin into a collector's jackpot. Now, if you're lucky enough to come across a New Hampshire quarter with one of these rare flaws, and it's in mint state condition, meaning it has never been used or circulated, you might be sitting on something extremely special. But it's not just the errors that collectors care about. Coins that are flawless and untouched by time, stored safely since the day they were minted, can also be worth far more than their face value. These are the coins graded by professional services as MS 67, MS 68, or higher. The higher the grade, the sharper the details, the shinier the surface, and the higher the value. So what should you be looking for? First, check the front, the obverse. It should read the year 2000 and show a small P near George Washington's ponytail. That means it was minted in Philadelphia. Flip it over, and examine the reverse. Look at the Old Man of the Mountain carefully. Are there any strange lines, blurry edges, or repeating elements? Is the design perfectly centered? Are the edges sharp, or soft from circulation? And here's a tip: always weigh your coins. A quarter that's too light or too heavy might have a minting error involving the wrong metal planchet, a rare and valuable find. Most importantly, if you suspect you've got a high-grade or error coin, don't guess. Get it authenticated and graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. They'll determine the exact condition and rarity, and if your coin is the real deal, it could be worth far more than just lunch money, because, believe it or not, one of the rarest known examples of the 2000 New Hampshire quarter, struck in Philadelphia with a rare error and preserved in exceptional mint state, has been valued at a staggering $50,000. That's right. Just 25 cents in your hand could be worth $50,000 in the right condition. So the next time you get a handful of change, don't rush to spend it. Take a closer look. That simple New Hampshire quarter could be more than a coin. It could be a piece of history, or a hidden treasure. Third expensive coin, we're talking about the 2014 P Shenandoah quarter, a beautifully designed piece of American currency that could be worth more than you ever imagined. At first glance, this coin looks like any other quarter you might get in change. But there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. The Shenandoah quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series launched by the U.S. Mint in 2010 to honor national parks and historic sites across all 50 states and U.S. territories. Each coin in the series showcases breathtaking landmarks and places that are central to the American story. The Shenandoah quarter, released in 2014, honors Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. This stunning park is known for its scenic skyline drive, dramatic mountain views, waterfalls, and over 500 miles of hiking trails that wind through forests and rocky ridges. The park itself is a symbol of quiet beauty, natural strength, and the enduring spirit of conservation. Now let's talk about the design of this quarter, because it's truly something special. On the reverse of the coin, you'll see a hiker standing at the top of Little Stony Man, one of Shenandoah's most popular lookouts. The detailed design captures a moment of reflection and awe, as the figure gazes across the rugged peaks and forested valleys below. It's a tribute to both the park's grandeur and the human connection to nature. On the front, or obverse, you'll find the familiar profile of George Washington, along with the mint mark. The version we're focusing on today has the letter P, indicating that it was minted in Philadelphia. Now here's where things get really interesting. Like most coins in circulation, the vast majority of Shenandoah quarters are worth their face value, just 25 cents. But within every batch of minted coins, there's always a chance that something unusual happened during production. And in the coin world, those little mistakes, called minting errors, can turn a common coin into a rare and valuable treasure. Collectors go wild for certain types of errors, such as double die errors, where parts of the design appear twice or are slightly offset. Off-center strikes, where the coin is not aligned correctly during minting. Clad layer issues, where the top metal layer is missing or peeling. Die cracks or cuds, which cause strange raised lines or bumps in the coin's surface. Some 2014 p. Shenandoah quarters have been found with errors just like these. And when a coin features a clear, dramatic error and is in mint condition, meaning it has no signs of wear, scratches, or damage, its value can climb rapidly. Another factor that can influence a coin's value is its grade. Coins are graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, which look at everything from the sharpness of the image to the shine and surface preservation. A Shenandoah quarter that's been professionally graded as MS 67 or higher, that's a mint state, becomes a very desirable piece for collectors who are chasing top-tier coins for their sets. But rarity doesn't always come from an error. Sometimes, it's a perfect storm of low mintage, flawless preservation, and a little bit of luck. And here's the thing, most people don't realize what they're holding. These valuable quarters are sitting in collections, tucked in wallets, or even lost under couch cushions, waiting to be discovered. So how do you know if your Shenandoah quarter could be worth more? Start by checking the mint mark. Look for the P just under the date. Then examine the coin under good lighting. Are there any strange marks, doubling in the letters or numbers, or anything that looks off? Is the image clean and crisp? No scratches? That's a good sign. If you think you have something special, consider having it professionally appraised or graded. It might cost a little, but it could also turn that quarter into a high-value collector's item. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. How much can a 2014 p Shenandoah quarter actually be worth? Well, one rare example of this coin, featuring a dramatic minting error and preserved in exceptional mint state condition, was valued at a jaw-dropping $20,000. That's right, a quarter worth $20,000. So the next time you're about to toss some coins into a vending machine or hand over your change, pause for a moment. That little piece of metal might be more than just pocket change. It could be a hidden piece of American history, and possibly, your next big find. Especially, we're talking about the New York State Quarter, released in 2001 and proudly marked with the letter P for the Philadelphia Mint. Now, you may have seen this quarter before, maybe even dozens of times, but stick around, because this isn't just any coin. This is a coin that tells the story of a state, reflects a moment in time, and, for a lucky few, has been discovered to hold an extraordinary amount of value. Let's go back for a moment to the year 2001. The U.S. Mint was in the middle of its legendary 50-state quarters program, a coin series that changed the way Americans looked at pocket change. Each state got its own spotlight on the back of a quarter, complete with unique designs that celebrated its heritage, history, and culture. And in January of 2001, it was New York's turn to shine. The reverse side of the New York quarter is filled with powerful symbolism. At the center stands the iconic Statue of Liberty, a timeless beacon of hope, freedom, and welcome for millions who arrived in America by way of Ellis Island. Behind her is an outline of New York State, along with 11 small stars that represent the original 13 colonies, New York being one of them. But what really makes this design stand out is the phrase etched boldly on the surface, "Gateway to Freedom." It's more than a slogan. It's a tribute to New York's role in shaping the nation, from its immigrant roots to its powerful influence on culture, finance, and civil liberty. Now, let's shift from history to mystery. Because while most of these quarters are worth exactly 25 cents, a very small number are worth thousands. The reason? Two simple words: rarity and condition. You see, not all coins are minted perfectly. Some are struck with errors, tiny mistakes that happen during the production process. These might include double die errors, where the image or letters appear twice, slightly offset off-center strikes, where the design is shifted or incomplete, clad layer errors, where the outer metal layer is missing or peeling, or even coin struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the coin was stamped on a blank intended for a different denomination. All of these errors are extremely rare, and they're exactly what collectors are searching for. The Philadelphia minted New York quarter, marked with a small p, has had a few of these gems discovered over the years, and when they're combined with a pristine, uncirculated condition, the results can be jaw-dropping. But it's not only errors that can make a coin valuable. Coins are graded based on their condition, from heavily worn to absolutely flawless. A coin that's been sitting untouched in a collector's case since the day it was minted might receive a high mint state grade, like MS 67 or higher, from grading companies such as PCGS or NGC. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Now think about this: millions of these coins were produced, but how many have survived 2 decades without a single scratch, nick, or smudge? The answer is very few. And that's what gives this coin its power, its ability to go from common to collectible based on subtle details. So, what can you do if you have a 2001 P New York quarter in your collection or in your change jar? First, take a close look at the mint mark. If it has a P below the word "In God We Trust" on the obverse side, you're looking at a Philadelphia mint coin. Then, examine the coin under bright light or even a magnifying glass. Are the edges crisp? Is the surface shiny, with no signs of wear? Look carefully at the lettering and image. Do you notice any doubling, strange markings, or anything that seems off? Those small clues might mean big value, and if you think you found something special, consider getting it professionally graded. A few dollars spent on certification could unlock a hidden treasure worth far more than you ever imagined, because believe it or not, one rare 2001 P New York quarter, featuring a striking mint error and preserved in near-perfect mint state, was once valued at an incredible $30,000. Yes, that's right. A single quarter. Worth $30,000. So the next time you're handed a New York quarter in change, don't just toss it in your wallet or jar. Take a moment. Turn it over. Look closely. Because hidden in that simple piece of metal might just be a story, and maybe even a small fortune waiting to be discovered. Next coin, we're heading out west, to the majestic Rocky Mountains, towering peaks, and open skies, because we're talking about the United States Colorado State Quarter, released in 2006. But hold on, this isn't just any quarter. This particular version, minted in Denver and marked with a D, has something incredibly special about it. You might want to check your coin collection after this video, because what looks like a simple 25-cent piece might just be worth a whole lot more. Let's start with the story behind the coin itself. The Colorado State Quarter was part of the 50 State Quarters program by the U.S. Mint, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each state got its own unique design on the reverse of the quarter, celebrating its history, geography, or culture. Colorado's design is one of the most breathtaking. It features a detailed depiction of the Rocky Mountains rising high above a sweeping evergreen forest, with the words, "Colorful Colorado," etched proudly across the top. It's not just a coin, it's a postcard in metal, a tribute to one of the most scenic states in the U.S. This quarter was officially released in 2006 to honor the year Colorado joined the Union, 1876, exactly 130 years earlier. That dual date on the coin, 1876 to 2006, adds an extra touch of historical weight. The quarter was minted in 3 places: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But the one we're focusing on today is the Denver Mint version, easily recognized by the small D located on the obverse, just beside George Washington's ponytail. Now, why should this coin matter to collectors? It's simple: beauty, nostalgia, and rarity. Although millions of these coins were minted, not all of them were created equal. Most were circulated and handled every day, tossed in pockets, spent at gas stations, and jingled in piggy banks. But a few, a rare few, escaped into the world in pristine condition or with special characteristics that make them highly desirable. For collectors, condition is king. A regular circulated Colorado quarter might still be fun to keep, but it won't bring in big bucks. The real treasures are the coins that have survived the years without a scratch, those in what's called mint state condition, graded MS 67 or higher. Even more exciting? Some of these coins have subtle minting errors, tiny anomalies that occurred during production, like doubling, misaligned dies, or unusual finishes. These imperfections might seem like mistakes, but to collectors, they can mean serious value. People often underestimate just how rare high-grade coins truly are. Out of millions produced, only a handful reach top-tier condition. Add a rare error into the mix, and you've got something that could turn heads at any coin show or auction. And that brings us to the big question you've all been waiting for: just how much could one of these coins be worth? Imagine this: you're sorting through your old coin jar or checking out a box of childhood keepsakes, and there it is. A 2006 D Colorado State quarter. It looks unusually crisp, like it just came out of the mint. Maybe, just maybe, it has a rare die error. You get it graded, and the results come in. It's a top condition coin with a unique variation. Believe it or not, one such Colorado quarter has fetched a jaw-dropping value of $45,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent coin, worth $45,000. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the thrill of the hunt. So, if you've got a Colorado quarter sitting in your drawer, it's time to take a closer look. Check the condition, look for that D mint mark, and inspect it for anything unusual. Who knows? You could be holding onto a piece of metal that's not just rich in history, but rich in value too. Last unique coin, we talk about the Louisiana 1812 to 2002 D State quarter. Most of us have seen this coin before, but did you know that it could be worth a lot more than its face value? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, this quarter might be a hidden gem sitting right in front of you. Released as part of the 50 State Quarters program, the Louisiana quarter was minted in 2002 to honor the state's rich history and culture. Louisiana, known for its lively music, vibrant culture, and unique cuisine, is a state with a deep-rooted history. The coin captures some of the essence of that history with its design, but it also holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, especially those who know its true worth. This coin features a remarkable and symbolic design that pays tribute to the pelican state. The obverse side of the coin displays the beautiful brown pelican, Louisiana's state bird, which is often seen as a symbol of family and protection. The bird is shown perched gracefully on a branch, with 3 chicks nestled under its protective wings, symbolizing the nurturing nature of this remarkable creature. As if that wasn't enough to make this quarter stand out, the reverse side features the traditional design of George Washington. But what truly makes the Louisiana 1812 to 2002 D State quarter unique is its mint mark, which represents the Denver Mint, a mint with a rich history of producing U.S. currency. The D mint mark is crucial because it's a sign that the coin was made at the Denver Mint, and that small detail can make a world of difference when it comes to determining its value. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. What makes this coin so valuable in the world of coin collecting? It all comes down to rarity and condition. While many of these coins were minted, not all of them are in mint condition. The key here is finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition. If your coin has no signs of wear, scratches, or tarnish, and looks as if it was just freshly minted, you could be sitting on a small fortune. As with any collectible, the condition is everything. Coins that have been kept in near-perfect condition can be worth significantly more than their face value. But the rarity of certain coins can take them even further. Minting errors also play a huge role in increasing the value of a coin. Even the slightest mistake during the production process can make a coin much more valuable to collectors. These errors might include things like misaligned strikes, where the design is shifted or off-center, or double die errors, where some elements of the design appear more than once. These types of errors create one-of-a-kind coins that can increase in value dramatically. Louisiana's statehood in 1812 is another important part of this coin's historical significance. The coin marks the anniversary of Louisiana becoming the 18th state to join the Union, and its inclusion in the 50-state quarters program highlights the state's diverse cultural influences, from French and Spanish roots to the famous New Orleans jazz music. The quarter's design serves as a tribute to all that Louisiana has contributed to the nation's heritage, making it a symbolic coin in the eyes of many collectors. But here's the part that will really get your attention. If you happen to have an unblemished, mint condition Louisiana 1812 to 2002 D quarter, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a potential $40,000 treasure. Yes, that's $40,000 for a single quarter. It's hard to believe that a coin worth just 25 cents could be worth so much, but the truth is, rare and error coins like these can fetch impressive amounts at auctions and through private sales. This is why coin collecting is so exciting. Sometimes, something as simple as a quarter can become a piece of history that's worth a small fortune. You never know when you might find one of these valuable coins tucked away in your collection, in your pocket change, or in a box of old coins you've had lying around for years. If you happen to come across a Louisiana quarter from 2002, take a good look at its condition. If it's in pristine shape, or even better, if you spot an error, you could be holding onto a collector's dream. So, what should you do if you think you found one of these rare coins? The first step is to examine the coin closely. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or other imperfections. If it's in excellent condition, then it could be time to get it professionally graded by a certified coin grading service. These services evaluate the condition of your coin and assign it a grade that determines its market value. A higher grade means a higher value, and the difference in price can be astronomical. If you think you might have one of these special coins, don't let it sit around. Get it checked, and who knows? You could be the next lucky person to cash in on a $40,000 treasure hidden in plain sight.